All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time. I think we're all set and ready to go here, ladies and gentlemen, for Prospect Z Racing League. I cannot wait to get this started. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's kick things right off. Ladies and gentlemen, I've said that for about 5 times, but I cannot say it enough. Beautiful people from back at home around the world. Welcome to Prospect Z Racing League, here for Tier 2 PlayStation Division, here to kick off the season of Round 1 here at the Red Bull Ring of the Austrian Grand Prix. Very excited to have everyone back at home. Commentators, myself, Just Gaming, as well as Zippo Streams. Very, very excited to kick things off here once again. A new season, new faces, some familiar faces, a new car, different strategies for the tires. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be very, very exciting, and I cannot wait to get this started off. Wheel-to-wheel action starts now. So I think this is actually where we're going to kick us off. So as you guys can see, 36 laps here at the Austrian Grand Prix for short qualifying prior. And I honestly cannot wait to get things started. I really cannot wait to get things started. But just to give you guys a little bit of a brief description about where we are at. We are here at Austria, here in Spielberg at the Red Bull Ring, here for the Formula 1 Rolex Großer Preis von Österreich 2022, presented by Prospect Z Racing League, here at the 10 corner circuit of Austria. A very small track, 4.3 kilometers long. We're looking around a race distance of 153.2 kilometers, and a bit of a difficult track for some people, very loved by many, actually. But the key thing about this track is that it has 3 consecutive DRS zones from the ending turn of the final turn of turn 10 down to finishing straight towards turn 1. Then you make your way up the hill as you enter sector 2 towards turn 3 at that tight right-hander hairpin, and then you make your way down towards turn 4, where you pass the speed trap and then finish off through sector 2, where you have a banking downhill right-hander to a little bit of a downhill left-hander of turn 6 as well. So a little bit of elevation changes as well here tonight. And I'm looking in the chat as well, so Chaos Druid, good to see you, my man. And honestly, cannot wait to see. And yeah, as you hear from Zippo, ladies and gentlemen, we have Zippo as well, the main man to do the graphics here tonight to make it a visually pleasing for you guys back at home, and it makes it easier for us as well. But Zippo, how you doing, my man?
I'm good, thank you. How are you guys? Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining. Hope you're all good. First time here on Tier 2, and I've got to say I'm pretty excited. Honour to be asked to do the Tier 2, to be honest with you. So yeah, we're good. Let's get into it. Let's see what we've got here tonight.
Well, it looks like, as you said, and as we can see on the screens here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, a bit of a change of preference for a lot of people. Of course, a lot of people would be expecting a dry race here today, but for qualifying, as the first person making their way out is going to be Wibble Wobble, is actually a wet scenario here today. Not too wet, so the intermediate compounds will be ideal here for qualifying. But I am seeing the sun start to come out a little bit, so it might dry up as Wibble Wobble gets himself a little bit of a wobble going on the throttle
Wibble
and goes into the grass. Yeah,
yeah, Wibble Wobble living up to his name there, right?
Yeah, he really is. Oh, and perfect timing on the ghosting there on the rejoin, as we saw Ghosty Riots making their way through. But a lot of familiar faces, a lot of unknown faces actually for me, and a few key drivers that we're going to be focusing on here tonight. In my opinion, I think will give us a very, very good shout for a race. I'm going to say Guitar Man Khan just, I believe, got promoted from Tier 3 up to Tier 2. We also see Patty Pat, a very good regular, as well as one of our own commentators here in Prospect. So we got to support our comrades, ain't Zippo?
100%. Yeah, I've actually watched Patty do comms. He's definitely someone that you can learn from. So it's good to see that he's when he does do his comms, I do examine what he does. So it's good to learn and get tips from other commentators, you know.
Exactly. We also have co-commentators of Folksy, as well as Chappers making an appearance in the Aston Martin.
Chappers
So
did
a
a
lot of
phenomenal job
commentators.
last night, I tell you. He done a really good job last night, and quite a difficult situation, both him and Patty. Very difficult situation last night, and they done a really good job.
Yeah, actually, I've done co-coms for Chappers a lot, actually, and I believe we'll be doing co-coms on Thursdays, actually, for the
Correct, yeah.
Tier 4 division of PlayStation. So very happy to be back, actually, honestly. Very happy to be back, but
we also got some first-time chatters in here. Anonymous and Just Coconuts there. I believe they're two drivers, actually. Just Coconuts,
yes.
I recognise him from somewhere.
Yeah,
and then
well,
you've
Just
got,
Coconuts is on the track here tonight. He's in the
yeah,
Haas.
he is down there in the Haas, yeah. And then we've got the Get coming in saying Vamos Chappers, Owen saying Oi, Nominous, Patty Pat, and Chaos there saying good to hear that.
Yeah, honestly, very excited to kick things off, and it looks like Volksy is going to be setting the standard here tonight in the wet scenario. And he crosses the line.
13-1 to set us off with there, quickly followed by Leclerc, who's about to start his lap. And then we've got Chappers. No, it's not. It's the other Aston Martin there of
Ghosty.
There we go. And then Jonesy up into P2. So pretty close between the top two so far. There's only 3 drivers there, but it is pretty close. It's interesting to see what the tier 2 guys.
And it looks like we have a spin, actually. We have a spin in sector 3, and it is a Ferrari, but yeah, it is a Ferrari, and it actually isn't Wibble Wobble this time. It's actually his teammate of Alto Inferno, and I believe there was an Alpine involved in that as well,
which was Sam Fleet. Yeah, it was, yeah. So Sam Fleet just getting out of the way of Alto Inferno there, as Alto's almost round again at the final corner, looking a little bit sketchy out there in the intermediate conditions here this evening in Austria.
Well, let's see how these drivers take it now. A very difficult track, especially in the wet weather. But we actually did see a complete opposite, actually, in the real-life scenarios. As if you guys didn't watch it, it was actually the race before the French Grand Prix, if I do remember correctly, where we did see Charles Leclerc actually get the win here at Austria. But it was it was overcasted by his teammate of Carlos Sainz, who actually. His car actually completely combusted. You can actually see it exploding down towards turn 4.
I mean, to be honest with you, if a car can explode like that, it's just as well that there's all these safety measures in all the barriers and things. I mean, because he was so close to the stewards and the marshals there. The bits flying out of that bodywork was just mental. Faster goes quickest overall so far, 0.3 quicker than Volksy.
Yep, and actually talking about the Ferraris actually having some issues here tonight. Both of the Ferraris actually now with a front wing missing, and it looks like it's always on turn 7 between those two Ferraris. So it looks like that there, if it is a wet race, we're gonna be seeing a lot of chaos actually into that corner. But as you did say, Farsa, I'm improving to a 112.8, but Just Coconuts getting the same time, but just going around 0.05 of a second faster here. So let's see if anyone else can match up to it. Fan favorite actually of Patty Pat, only with a 115.2, so hopefully he can improve on his lap time as well. We also have Pigman Man currently entering sector 3, just ahead of Patty Pat, finishing his lap. But you can look at the track actually here, Zippo. A lot of fast straights, a few technical corners around the track, especially in sector 3. But what would you say would be the most difficult aspect of the Austrian Grand Prix here tonight that these drivers will be facing?
Well, from the new game itself, turn 1 has been proven to be quite tricky. The final corner as well, and also going through like the middle sector, middle part of the track coming through. I think it's 7 and 8, isn't it? Oh, sorry, 6, 7, and 8. I've seen a lot of drivers, especially on these new cars, really losing the rear and actually potentially crashing out of the race as well.
Well, Sam Fleet actually representing that as well, as he had himself a little bit of a spin in turns 7 and 8. So, for me, I would actually have to agree with you, but also disagree, because the one key thing about this track that actually makes it so unique to a lot of tracks is actually the pit lane entrance, where it's actually on the penultimate corner of turn 9, and we actually had a driver's debrief earlier just to give the drivers a little bit of a warning of that pit lane entrance. where it's very easy to mistime the braking zone and go wide on the entrance of the pit lane, and you have to stay within that white line, because if you actually cross that white line going into the pit lane, it actually the drivers will be penalized. But yeah, there's actually a lot of drivers. Oh my god, I'm actually having heartburn right now. I gotta get some pills for that.
I've actually noticed as well, the quality is clearly drying up, because there's a couple of softs sat in the pits as well. As Bevo goes quickest overall, FR Guelphi, well, faster now, into second place. But yeah, just touching on what Just Gaming's just said there in the driver's briefing. Drivers are warned to stay to the right-hand side entering the pit lane in both qualifying and during the race. Anyone deemed cutting the white line there, or coming over from the left over to the right to get into the pit lane, will be, as Justin said, penalised here this evening.
Yeah, and actually, as you said earlier, right before I was making that statement, yeah, you can actually see the track is starting to dry up a little bit.
The rain stopped as well.
The rain is...
Well, almost stopped.
Oh,
it's not too far.
Yeah, the rain is still coming down. The rain's still coming down, but it's actually very, very light. So we could be seeing a slick end to this qualifying, and a few drivers, as you said, getting themselves prepared for that. Just Perra and Leclerc getting themselves sorted, as well as Pigment Man. So both of the AlphaTauris might be anticipating that to happen. But yeah, it's very interesting actually at this track. A lot of iconic situations has happened actually over the years here at the Red Bull Ring. Actually, he won was actually Niki Lauda, who's the only Austrian driver to have won in his home race, where he has actually did this in 1984, where he then took his third and final world championship as well. And of course with Lauda, he's actually also took 3 pole positions here at the Red Bull Ring. So
I'll tell you what,
a lot of his
and your
history
stats,
with this track.
Yeah, I need to know. I think I need to have a chat with you about some stats actually. Folksy goes quicker than everyone else out there. Bevo, so he's only it's only 300ths faster at the top there, so it's very, very close at the top. In fact, it's quite close all the way down to P6, if I'm perfectly honest with you. It's very, very close.
It is actually getting pretty close, but we can actually officially say that the rain has stopped. The rain has fully stopped now. Of course, the track is still quite a bit greasy, you could definitely say. And I hope these drivers have put on their dry setups actually, and anticipated the weather change.
So Sam Flee with no front wing here as well on a flying lap. So he somewhere has lost that front wing. But I reckon give it 4 or 5 minutes, and I can see the final 3-4 minutes. I actually think there's going to be a lot of dry runners out there.
Oh, definitely, and also one of our very own commentators as well, Chappers, has actually equipped the soft tires still, but it looks like a lot of the drivers still out there on the intermediates, trying to push a lot of that water off of the racing line to try and get a dry line here and potentially go on the soft compound tires. But only time will tell at this point with 7 minutes left. And I actually want to communicate with the people back at home, actually, people in the comments. I haven't seen you guys actually appear that much here today. Owen Sharpie as well, actually, here in the chat. We also see Chaos as well. I want to hear from you guys. Which drivers are you going to be supporting here tonight? Who do you think is going to be getting pole position? And I want to hear from you guys. Are you guys excited to kick off prospects here in F1 22? Of course, we had a few pre-season races, but it's a new season. New beginnings for a lot of these drivers, getting promoted, getting demoted, and probably getting some redemption from last season. So I want to hear from you guys. Who are you guys excited to watch here tonight? And honestly, I cannot wait to get this season off and running. But only 6.5 minutes left of qualifying before we get the 5 red lights.
Yeah, absolutely there. So yeah, as you just said, 6.5 minutes left. On board with C. Burton as he did that fast lap there. Provisional pole position into the 111, so the first driver this season into those 111s. And I've actually clicked the wrong button. I've just opened up Streamlabs as well, so hopefully it didn't interfere with anything. I don't think it did.
No,
so we've got some more here.
Here.
YT synced high, even though he ain't there yet. Alto's got the pace. I'm going to be supporting myself because I'm racing. You're Leclerc 1090. Oh, nice. Okay, great. You haven't set a lap yet, but you're you're sat there waiting for the softs to come good, so that's good. Going to be down to whoever crosses the start-finish line first. There's chaos. And to be fair, yeah, I agree. Especially in these changing conditions, it is literally it's more down to timing as it is over pace. Whoever times crossing that line to perfection is going to get the best part of the track as it does start to improve. And if you are the last car that crosses that line and the track's improving that much, as long as your time is good enough, you will most likely be taking that pole position away from people.
Well, that's only if it's a valid lap as well.
Course,
but we actually have a drive runner out there on the track, actually, the Ferrari
Alto.
of Alto
Yes.
Inferno. And it looks like he's having himself a little bit of a drift session over here.
There's still a lot of spray out there. A hell of a lot of spray, actually.
Yeah, there was a lot of spray, and I don't think the track is getting drier any more quickly. Actually, I think everyone's gonna have a last-ditch effort in the final moments of qualifying, because it's still super greasy out there, still really wet out there on the track. As Alto Inferno proves that it's still very difficult to get traction on those set of slicks, and you can actually see just by looking at the track, the dry line, the racing line, isn't really that prominent. So I think it's going to be another few minutes before the track gets fully dried up as the sun starts to come out a little bit more through the clouds, because we still have a little bit of overcast here in Austria. But
yeah, we do. We're staying on board with Alto. I mean, he is on the softs. He is the one that's braving those softs. He's 5.5 tenths down on his time, and you can almost see him sort of like searching for some dry bit. And you can just see it's out of turn 3. It's just not the right tyre to be on. Ghosty coming out, Wibble Wobble coming out as well on the soft tyres. And I'll be surprised if maybe we do even see a dry track. I mean, it's still 3.5 minutes. Depends how quickly it's going to change over. But yeah, it's going to be very, 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 very tricky out there, I think.
They're going to be tripping over their own feet at this point.
Correct. Yeah.
And I think a lot of these drivers right now, I think some of them do realize that the dry line isn't there, and as we see Alto Inferno having himself a little bit of a drifting session, trying to practice for the Pirelli hot laps in the My Team career. So let's see if he improves on that, as he's practically, it's kind of like going on the highway and driving your car on like black ice. Just no traction whatsoever. Very, very dangerous, not just for the driver, but also for the other drivers around them.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be very difficult, as we do see the Alpine just making his way through of Sam Flea. Got his track actually, his lap time actually blocked there.
Alto is not having fun out there. Sam Flea goes quickest overall, but yeah, Alto is not having a good time. He's just come around, I think lap turn 10, is it? 3?
Yeah, it was actually turn 9 actually.
Turn 9, yeah, he's
corner there.
Yeah, turn 9, completely off of the track there. So the softs really, really are not, and there's Ghosty Riots there looking as well. Just not 7 seconds off his time at the moment as well, as he's just going completely slow. Softs really aren't the tyre to be on, and I will question whether they're going to be the tyre at all this evening here in qualifying.
Well, just like in real life, Ferrari's decision making very, very, very questionable, you can say. As we've seen a lot of mayhem with the Ferrari. Actually, as we just saw the Ferrari.
This is getting crazy. Oh my god.
Wibble Wobble and Ghosty Riots. Yep, right there.
Yeah, it's getting a bit dangerous. I think it's just the case now where it's really not the tyre. They need to box, and if they even want to try, as the track is dry, and get themselves back out in a set of intermediates, if they've even got time to now, it's difficult to see the time on screen or the time left when you've got yellow flags constantly at the moment. They go
Exactly.
a minute and a half. They're not going to have time. It's game over. Those out on the softs who haven't. So the likes of Just Pero, is it?
Just Pero, yep.
Yep. He's not setting a lap by the looks of it. Anza and Leclerc changing to the intermediates last minute there, so they're both out on the intermediates now. And yeah, Chapper's on a lap at the moment, getting a slipstream off of the Ferrari, but he's also getting held up by said Ferrari, who are on a... Yeah, I mean, that's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, Wibble Wobble there just completely slams his brakes on Chappers, completely breaking his front wing as well, because of that.
That's just mental, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just very poor awareness there, and I believe Chappers is really gonna be talking with the stewards about that, and I believe the stewards are gonna be looking over the footage of that as well. But I'm actually looking at it now, and it looks like it's about 10 minutes before the track actually starts to dry up like significantly, but it's just gonna be too late for those dry runners. We can see Wibble Wobble currently with no front wing. I'm actually going to keep an eye on Farsa Smat Rare. I have no idea how to pronounce that last part of his name. Sorry if I butchered it. But, like, how do you pronounce that? Well, the Alpine driver, that's what we're going to say.
Yeah, Chapper's
is actually...
so not a good chance for him at all.
No, it's not. But, he is yeah, so it looks like the softs right now are only down by around a second compared to the intermediates.
As
but
DRS
now
gets enabled.
So now it's whoever has just started the lap is going to be on a huge advantage. And I think that's going to be Gylfi actually, as he has taken the sprint down towards turn 4. Same goes with Leclerc actually. I think Leclerc is going to be the best one out of it. And we're going to be seeing the times. Yeah, that's actually a very good time, but I think it's going to be beaten with all of these DRS zones, especially for Leclerc, actually. So he has all of the cards in his hands right now. He is the dealer at this point, and I think he could be going up on top, actually, because that DRS down towards turn 3, as well as the long DRS down towards turn 4.
Goes P2. Then we're going to go on board with C. Burton, second fastest.
C. Burton, yep.
Gylfi, next across the line. Unless it's Bevo. Is it Bevo? Yeah, it's Bevo. So he goes second. Gylfi's going to cross the line and goes into 6th place. And that is Leclerc next. So Leclerc is going to be the final driver to cross the line. Does so and goes
down to third.
So I'm going to let you take us through the grid there, Justin. And I'll be back in a second, guys.
Yep, don't leave the food in the oven too long. Don't want to burn the house down. But that's going to be it for qualifying here, ladies and gentlemen. A last-ditch effort from Just Coconuts gets himself set up on pole position, with Bevo and Leclerc finishing out the top 3. Then we have C. Burton, Qatarman Khan, Sam Flea, Gylfi, as well as Folksy, Dan Boyer, as well as Bauer, sorry. And Anza finishing off the top 10. Then we have the other Williams driver of Patty Pat getting a P11 with Timba, Pigman Man, Jonesy, Farsa, Wibble Wobble, Chappers, Ghosty, and Alto finishing off the time finishers. And then Peta just starting at the back of the grid here, just couldn't find a lap time here in Austria. But ladies and gentlemen, I do gotta say, if you guys are just queuing in, welcome to the Prospects eRacing League, here for Tier 2 PlayStation Division, here to kick off the season of Season 7 here at Austria for the Austrian Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring. Very, very excited to be here tonight as we've just finished qualifying, and now we're gonna have 5 red lights before we see the drivers battle out into turn 1. But with that being said as well, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be right back after a little bit, but as we take this time to get the drivers set up with, of course, their car setups, tire components, strategies, everything of the sort, I want to remind you guys, here in Prospects, we actually moved to Twitch, and we've actually have a huge turnout here tonight, 41 people watching back at home. So I'm just going to say a big thank you ahead of time for everyone watching back at home. Very, very excited as well to be here tonight. But I just want to say, if you guys are new to the channel and you see yourself coming back from time to time, or you're just enjoying the content in general, please hit that follow button. We're trying to get our numbers up as well, and hit that notification bell so you're notified every single time we go live from Mondays to Fridays across all platforms. And I want to know in the chat who is part of the hashtag notification squad. I want to hear from you guys as well. But as we have 15 seconds left to kick off the season of Season 7 for PlayStation Tier 2, very, very excited to kick things off. And Zeboy, I believe that you're back now, so I'll leave you with the other side of the race, my friend. Welcome to Division 2, my friend.
Thank you very much. Welcome, guys. Thanks for, as Justin just said, thanks very much for being in here this evening, guys. So, broadcast safe formation lap here. So we have got 2 drivers out there, Patty Pat and Timber there on the hards. Only C. Burton and Jonesy going for the soft tires there. Both of them in the McLarens, and the rest of them all on those medium tyres. You can see the strategies down there, medium to hards, and you've got the 2-stop there, the soft, medium and the hard. I probably think it's going to be more the medium hard, and then obviously maybe the hards are going to push on to be the softs at the end. Who knows? Depends how good the softs are going to be. The softs this evening for myself in Jeddah were very, very good. So we'll have to see whether the patch has actually leveled out the tyres as well. But the car's lining up on the grid now, and we're going to get those 5 red lights here this evening in Austria for round number 1 of Tier 2. The PlayStation series, let's call it. I think it is, isn't it? Yeah, the PlayStation series, let's call it. But here we go. We've got 5 red lights, ladies and gentlemen, and they are going to be going out, and we're going to be racing here any second now. There we go, lights are out. We're racing here for Tier 2 in Austria, and already we've got a Ferrari spinning around, and we've got an Alpine and a Haas coming together right back there, but the Haas of Just Coconuts getting away very, very well indeed through turn 1. And we had some coming together. I think that was Folksy and Sam Flea down the back there, and we had Auto Inferno spinning round off the lights. And already we've got some cars off in the distance, almost 2 seconds behind there, and there are positions changing everywhere. Seaburton up to fourth place on those soft tyres, and Jonesy sticking to position there in P12. Qatar man David Boyer changing positions there for 5th and 6th as well, and then we've got Anza and Gelfi also for 7th and 8th changing positions. Wibble Wobble making some moves up there on Timber, and we've got a collision. I'm not sure that was, I think that was Wibble Wobble not having the best of evening so far this evening, and he is round. Both Ferraris having an awful qualifying and not much better start to the race here either.
Yeah, it's not going good for the Ferraris, and it looks like the Prospects eRacing League drought of the Ferraris might be reignited here for Season 7. Hopefully that's not the case, but the early pitter of Ghosty Riots making their way into the pit lane, respecting the pit rule. I do believe, if I did see that correctly, I most likely did not. But yeah, huge problems for the Ferrari team, as they're going to be now double stacked in the pit lane. But you have got to say, what an amazing start for Just Coconuts. But I'm seeing Bevo and C. Burn almost had a look on the inside of turn 3 going on the uphill, but ending lap 1 here, ladies and gentlemen. Just Coconuts and Leclerc still in P1 and 2, but C. Burn looking around the outside down towards turn 4. You see Bevo looking on the inside to make the dive, and they're still going side to side. No Albon and Hamilton scenarios into that gravel, but it looks like Bevo getting the dive bomb down towards turn 4, retakes the podium position of 3rd. But it looks like C. Burton, he's trying to get those softs heated up very, very quickly, trying to make some sort of advantage early on in this race. But you got to say here, Zippo, an amazing start all around. Unfortunate for 16th down to last. But other than that, so far it's been a pretty enjoyable start here at the Austria. Yeah,
it has. It's some pretty close fighting. As you were, we got yellow flags. That is for Auto Inferno there going through. And this is where I said 5, 6, and 7. Very, very easy to lose your car here on this new game. And the Ferrari of Auto just showing us just that there. Whilst you were on board with that battle a minute ago, we were on board with just Pera and Jonesy getting very, very close together, less than a 10th at one stage. We just stayed on board with that just to see if it unfolded anymore, and it didn't. But there you go, Patty Pat and Farsa changing positions there, and Patty Pat down now to P13. Yellow flags once again, and that is for Auto Inferno. And if he's not careful, he is going to be the first driver to be lapped out there.
Yeah, it looks like it. Just Coconuts is closing on the rear end of the Ferrari early on, and it's only been lap 3, so it looks like a lot of the drivers still trying to get used to it. Just Fodder is looking on the inside there of Jonesy down towards turn 7. A very ambitious position, actually, to make some sort of overtakes. But it looks like for the hard compound drivers out there, it looks like they're really struggling to get into grips, both of the hard compounds of Patty Pat and Timba, losing 2 positions early on in this race. But I think for the long run, they're really going to come out on top, actually, in my opinion. But it looks like Just Pata is still trying to find the move. But it looks like up to the front, Leclerc is looking on the inside of Just Coconuts on the uphill down towards turn 4. Leclerc just gets too much of that sausage curve, a little bit of a wiggle from Just Coconuts on the exit as he finds traction down towards turn 4. But it looks like them two are going to go at it. Pigman Man as well in P8 and 9 with Anza as they go side to side.
Later on the brakes, down the inside goes Pigman. And Anza holding it in there though. Look at this, going to be going side by side, just like we saw. But there we go. Anza does just tuck in behind, and we've got yellow flags again, and that is for Wibble Wobble. Actually, the Ferraris just aren't there this evening, are they? They're just not there here in Austria tonight at the moment, and it's a bit unfortunate.
Oh, look right behind Farsa. Oh, look, Farsa and Jonesy down towards turn 9.
God.
A very difficult corner to go side to side. They're able to manage it.
Jonesy gets
hit
a penalty
with
as well.
a 3-second time penalty though, just for exceeding track positions. But it looks like Timpa has had a spin down towards turn 9 and is falling down the pecking order. Farsa and Jonesy were swapping a switchback for Farsa down towards turn 1.
That was a great move there from Farsa. But Jonesy's going to come back at him, and PRL Artistic come in there saying this is a great circuit for wheel-to-wheel battles. Could not agree any more to you, with you. Sorry, through the. To be fair, I would say the first 2 sectors. Sector 3 is a bit more scary. I wouldn't want to be going wheel-to-wheel through the Sector 3, but the first and second sectors, 100% very much wheel-to-wheel. Auto Inferno crashing out of the session there at the entry of the pit lane. Looks like it might be on the pit wall. No safety car gets cleared away, and there goes Farsa and Jonesy once again through Sector 3, getting that aerial shot there off that as we go round 7 and 8. And that is... Who's that? Is that Wibble Wobble? That's Wibble Wobble spinning round once again. Now, Wibble Wobble is also, I think, a lap down now.
He is actually a lap down now. He's behind P14 of Chappers actually, and it looks like Bevo's looking around the outside. So it looks like it's Bevo trying to get the switch back down towards turn 2.
And what a move!
Like
he gets it as well
with the DRS as well. So
yeah, that was a very good switchback move, perfectly executed. And here comes Anza and David Boyer into turn 4. We're going 3 wide here. 3 wide into turn 4 goes Anza.
Being involved.
Oh, that was a great move. He went for it. He lit the stamp and he sent that then, didn't he? Straight down the inside into turn 3.
He licked the stamp, sent it in, and he stuck it right in the corner of that line, and did absolutely beautifully to make the move. And
there's just Pera.
Right, commentator's curse right there, ladies and gentlemen. Right as we're praising a move, the next move in the next corner, just not really coming off right, not the way that they would have wanted. But you got to say, still up front, just Coconuts right on the diffuser.
Wibble was out of the session. This could be a safety car.
I think it might be actually. Wait, actually, no, it doesn't look like it. It could just be a yellow flag as they take the sprint down towards turn 1.
Just Coconuts and Leclerc really going at it here. This is really, really good.
Yeah, these two have been at it for a long time here tonight, actually. So, gotta enjoy that, really. You've got to enjoy that. As he now looks on the inside down towards turn 3. And it looks like he's able to come up with it, but did Leclerc get DRS on the exit? Yes, he did. So let's see if he retakes the lead of this race down towards turn 4. And it looks like Bevo is out of this race, bringing up the safety car, and that means Leclerc holds on to second place. Just Coconuts in the lead, could not get the overtake before the safety car is deployed. But now, on lap 7, 3 drivers are out, all 3 of them with Ferrari engines.
Yeah, absolutely. Ferrari just don't seem to have much luck here, do they? As a whole, even in real life. I mean, Leclerc had an amazing race, but as you said, that engine woes for Carlos Sainz when they came here. So yeah, there we go. That is Just Coconuts abiding by the entry line and into the pits. He's going for the undercut maybe on Leclerc. Was that it's the undercut? Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of drivers are going to be a little bit confused actually. Some drivers overtaking each other under a safety car. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Here we go. No, look, desync between Sam Flea and Foxy. They're trying to overtake. So I think it's because there's a glitch out there at the moment, isn't there? Whereas if you're the driver, and that is Sam Flea live on stream, doing exactly what he was told not to do in the driver's briefing.
Yeah, I think some drivers actually might have missed it. So it is very unfortunate to see the what's it called, the stewards have made the rule actually public actually in the notifications tab on the Discord, so these drivers would have actually seen it as well, I do believe. But just so the people back at home have a little bit of a an understanding of the track and a little bit of Spielberg's history when it comes to motorsports. So the fearsome original Österreich was originated back in 1969 as a replacement of the Zeldwig airfield circuit, actually, where the track known today as the Red Bull Ring was more or less created over the winter of 1995/96 when Hermann Tilke was engaged to turn the Österreich into a shorter, more modern racetrack as well. And actually the track actually at first was after the Hermann Tilke improvement was opened actually in 1996, and then with Formula One arriving at the circuit a year later in '97, where we saw Jacques Villeneuve actually winning the race, while Jean Alesi had a spectacular crash when his Benetton climbed up the Ferrari of Eddie Irvine. So a lot of huge crashes here at Austria, where we actually saw. Wasn't there a crash with Sergio Perez here at Austria, actually, or at least some sort of contact? I believe down towards turn 4, like him and George Russell had a little bit of contact, if I remember that correctly, like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, and there was also those 2 really heavy crashes in qualifying as well. Lewis Hamilton, in particular,
Yes.
in Q3 straight. Was it Q3? Yeah, it was.
Yes,
Q3,
it was
wasn't
Q3.
It?
Yeah, it was Q3 for both of the Mercedes, actually.
Yeah, it was.
Lewis Hamilton down towards turn 7, and then I believe George Russell around turn 10, around the final corner, right at the end of qualifying, actually.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so it was definitely it's definitely known for some crashes. Safety car coming in this lap, and we'll be going back to racing very, very soon. Lap 9 of 36. And as you said a minute ago, we've lost all the 2 Ferraris and an Alfa Romeo here from the session. And Leclerc currently leads, but let's not rule out Just Coconuts, who has boxed and is provisionally P1. As Bevo, he's left, he's crashed, so never mind. Yeah, so Just Coconuts is your provisional P1 driver after he's made his box. And let's see what Leclerc can do and when he's going to drop that anchor, and off he goes, I guess. And we've got a spinner, and that is Patty Pat.
Oh, Patty Pat, really? Oh, that's very unfortunate for him, and it looks like he might have picked up some front wing damage, actually. But it looks like Leclerc goes on the throttle, puts the hammer down as he takes the sprint, warms up his tires a little bit down towards turn 1, and green flags are out, ladies and gentlemen. We are back to racing. Leclerc with an amazing start.
Just Coconuts already
8/10.
into turn 1 on Chappers. Sorry to interrupt you there, but Just Coconuts going for a move on Chappers off the restart, and Chappers coming under some pressure from behind from C. Burton as well. It seems like these hards have really warmed up quite nicely in comparison to these used medium tyres.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the case. It's just warming up those tires for the safety car restart. That is where you're going to be really making your move. And it looks like Chappers actually goes around the outside, carries a lot more momentum. Just Coconuts trying to look on the inside. Chappers mistimes the braking zone, actually, but he was able to defend as they take the sprint still side to side. Down towards turn 5, a little shake there from Chappers, and it looks like Just Coconuts, the ghosting actually coming into effect beautifully there. If not, we would have had a huge incident between Chappers and Just Coconuts, but it looks like the Haas now into P6. Chappers and the Aston Martin down to P7 as Jonesy has had a disconnect, so we're going to try and get him back in. I'll take care of that actually myself. But so far as Folksy goes into the pit lane entrance off of the penultimate corner, spins uncontrollably but rejoins in P17. So it looks
Jonesy's just reported that the game's kicked in. Just Coconuts has gone as well. So I'm gonna. Can you get them both back in?
I'm going to try and see if I can get that. Oh, I actually can't. What? Oh, right. We can't send invites in the middle of a race.
No, so, okay, right, hang on a minute. I can do it. I know how to do it. So what we've got to do now is we've got to go into our friends list.
Yep.
And then we've got to go to the set. I don't know if you're 4 or 5. And then we've got to go on them, find out where they are. So there's Just Coconuts. Invite you. Just Coconuts. Hopefully you're going to get one. And then Jonesy, you should be getting one right now. Sorry for the guys watching. This is what we have to do now. It's absolutely mental. It's pathetic, and we shouldn't have to do it this way. There we go. We are back, though. We are back.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry for the inconvenience there, ladies and gentlemen, as Jonesy has just rejoined.
Okay, Just Coconuts,
and
you let us know in the
hopefully...
chat as well. DRS has now been re-enabled. Hopefully,
What happened?
it's alright. Do we allow, just a quick one? Do we allow swearing and stuff on here?
No, we don't.
In the chat,
No.
I mean.
Oh, in the chat, yeah, they can, but for us in the comms box, no, we
No,
cannot
I was only asking.
anything.
I was only asking purely because there was a message that popped up and it asked if I wanted to allow or deny the message. So.
Oh
that's
no,
why I
because you're
asked.
new to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
No,
Man.
I wouldn't
fine,
do it
but,
on
look at Farza
comms.
now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I wouldn't do it
Farza
on
the
comms. Don't worry
inside
about that.
of Anza. Sorry, Farza on the inside of Anza,
Yeah, he
down
is.
towards turn 4. As they still go side to side towards turn 5, Anza trying to find the move on the inside, decides to slot right back behind. And it looks like the Alpine now up into P3 with an amazing move, using the DRS to absolute perfection there. And it looks like C. Burton as well, right on the tail end of Chappers. Chappers with those old set of mediums now has 3 new hard compound drivers, some big names as well actually,
Yeah.
of C. Burton and Pigman Man. So Chappers is now under a lot of pressure, cannot help with no DRS. And it looks like C. Burton is using everything, the DRS, the eRacing, and the slipstream, down towards turn 1. Let's see if C. Burton has made the move. Chappers will now be having DRS as well to try and fight back up the hill towards turn 2 and 3. And it looks like C. Burton defends on the outside. Chappers squeezed onto the inside, down towards turn 3, and it looks like
yeah.
Chappers is able to get the job done. Pigman Man trying to get himself involved as well.
He is like holding on for dear life right now. Look at this. He's just got this flurry of cars coming behind him. We've also got a lot of drivers disconnected.
Oh!
There's contact.
Contact between C. Burton and Pigman Man. Looks like C. Burton went onto the inside of Chappers and then back behind. I don't think Pigman Man actually was anticipating him to do that quick switch of positions, and then Pigman Man hits the back of C. Burton, of course unintentionally, but it will go down to the steward's decision at the end of this. But very unfortunate there, mistiming the rejoin to go right behind Chappers. In my opinion, probably should have just gone for the move.
Can you try and get David Bowyer back into the lobby, please? There's been a lot of disconnections. Gotcha. Yeah, lots of disconnections from this lobby tonight, and people driving in, joining, rejoining, unjoining, and I just think it's got a bit of a mess.
Yep.
And amongst that as well, just noting as well, Just Coconuts actually dropped all the way down to 14th when he disconnected, and he's round. He's round.
He's actually gone around.
He's actually round on the exit of turn 3.
Oh, I just saw that on your
And I think
on the stream. Yeah.
I think he's just gone. Do you know what? Tonight it's just gone wrong. David obviously, he's got himself disqualified there, which was looking like a very good fight for the win, in fact. And are you able to get David back in, or are you struggling to?
I think for us on the PS4, it's not really working out.
Okay, I can get it.
Yeah, sorry again for the inconvenience, ladies and gentlemen. I'll keep you guys updated about what's going on. But it looks like Just Coconuts has been disqualified. Parked in a dangerous position. He is now out of this race. Our pole sitter is now going to be coming home with nothing.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are calling for a restart. I mean, it's lap 15 of 36. I'm not sure what the rules are in regards to that. I mean, the lobby has kind of ruined a lot of drivers' races now.
Yeah, it's just I think that's the thing with like the new games nowadays, where we saw Gran Turismo 7 having their lobby issues, still experiencing them actually. We now have Formula 1. I think a few other games, if they have online actually. Online features, and they might be struggling a little bit with the servers.
Yeah, Just Coconuts. Yeah, we do sympathise with you, man. We did get you back in as soon as we could, though. So I mean, it's the fact that we can't just press 2 buttons nowadays. We have to actually go in through the friends list, find the person. If we haven't got them on there, we then have to search for said person. It's just a real mess on their behalf, really.
Exactly,
I'm with Sam Flea at the moment.
News about that actually. There is actually news about that. professional esports F1 drivers, names like Barry Burman as well as Jano Opmeer, is actually suing Codemasters and EA Sports, saying if they do not fix their game, they're going to be suing them for a certain amount of money because they're actually taking from their livelihoods, which is understandable.
This is what I said to you last week after the WOR race.
I remember you saying that. Yeah.
And it doesn't look like the lobby is working for David now. But yeah, I mean, when you're getting big names like that coming in, and the fact that they're going to then start suing, because as you've just said, it is their livelihood. That is what they're getting paid for. That is what they're getting paid to do. It is their job. Timber and Patty Pat getting very close together though. And when the game's such a mess, game after game after game, and it's things that just get pushed over to the next game as well that never get rectified. And when they rectify one thing, they break something else.
Well, to be honest with you, in my opinion, I've experienced that too many times with EA Sports.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really look about the history of EA Sports, as we see Ghosty Riot's having himself a spin around the final corner and actually resetting to the track, which I do believe is an illegal offense. So we're gonna have to keep an eye out on that one. So Ghosty Riots might be getting a disqualification from this race, if not a time penalty because of that, which actually also gives Jonesy and C. Burton, both of the McLarens, up into P7 and 8, which actually kind of reflects real life actually, with the McLarens actually having a recent boost in performance recently in Formula 1. But it's as back to what we were saying,
as well.
Yeah, but back to what we were saying actually, as we just saw a good save there from Sam Flea there. I don't know if you just saw that. It was a good save as he was going sideways.
But yeah, I mean, as we're saying, I mean, the fact that they've released a new game, Patty Pat and Leclerc are getting very close together. I mean, why move a vital part of a game, inviting someone from the menu? Why remove that? What's the logic in removing that?
I think they thought that would be a fix for having people leave and rejoin lobbies and that actually does lead to glitched games. But instead of taking away a feature, just improve the servers, in my opinion. And I think that's the one thing that a lot of games are actually missing, in my opinion. Because if you look at games that had, like, let's say games like Call of Duty or MotoGP or like anything that's kind of like pre-2015, like those sort of games, the servers worked absolutely beautifully. But to me personally, there are actually a lot of companies out there that still use the servers that they did back in 2015, and they decided to not upgrade their servers. And I think, I'm not saying that Formula 1 has done that because I don't know about Formula 1.
Yeah.
But there are some...
Oh, there's contact. Patty Pat and Ghosty Riots.
And Ghosty Riots, yeah.
Yeah, going wheel to wheel here. And, I don't really know what happened, to be perfectly honest with you. They were both going wheel to wheel. And from the angle that we had, it wasn't the best of angles. It could have been, either or. Patty Pat has turned into Ghosty Riots, or Ghosty Riots has just closed the door and gone into Patty Pat. It was one of those, from the angle that we saw, it's just impossible to tell.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to get a replay at the end with some of the drivers, their POV.
What's going on? In regards to the replays, if anybody knows how the replays actually work on OBS, then please by all means hit me up, because I've tried and tried and tried. On Streamlabs I can work them with my eyes closed. OBS I just cannot get them to work.
Oh, you use wait, which OBS do you use? You just use the normal OBS?
Yeah, so for this I use the normal OBS. But on Streamlabs, which is where I've got all my stuff linked to, it's a lot different and a lot easier to set an instant replay up than it is on OBS.
Yeah, I use Streamlabs as well.
Yeah.
It's just my computer's just practically
I just cannot
a dinosaur. Sam Flea!
Yes,
Sam Flea!
Round.
He is now out of the podium, and now we're seeing both of the McLarens make it their way up as he rejoins just ahead of his teammate. I'm not too sure if his teammate got DRS because of that. No, he just misses out, but it looks like they're both going side to side down towards turn 1. Esteban Ocon and Fernando Alonso at Saudi Arabia, it almost looked like there. And look at that, Qatar man coming his way up! Major contact with Sam Flea.
Who was
And
that
Sam
against?
Flea goes into the wall. Guitar Man Khan just had a better line around the outside of it, but just barely tipped the right front of Sam Flea, and that momentum getting him straight into the wall. In my opinion, very lucky to still be in that race, because that is a hefty hit.
Wow, I mean, I've just been on board with Leclerc and Jonesy there. Very, very close together between those two as well. On the exit of, where are we now? On the exit of turn 4, almost contact actually between the two of them. The front left on the rear right of the McLaren of Jonesy. Jonesy still ahead though.
Yeah, but it looks like Leclerc will now be having DRS. And Jonesy trying to break the slipstream actually, but Leclerc actually deciding not to make the overtake. And I think that's the better call here, as he's now having a beautiful exit
That was a
out
beautiful,
of turn 1.
That was almost to perfection, wasn't it, out of there?
Absolutely beautiful, and it doesn't look like Jonesy will be entering just yet into turn 4. I mean, turn 3, but he might enter in turn 4.
Yeah, he's got DRS this time round, hasn't he?
Yeah, but it looks like Leclerc
artistic
still
saying
got a
it's
better
getting very
exit.
dicey out there, and yes, it is getting a bit dicey out there. Some more spins going on than people would want, I'm sure. And then you've got some others coming in saying, "Go on."
I was saying Ghosty Rice just spun around again, and it looks like a lot of drivers
starting to
I don't
struggle
know what
out
it is. Yeah, it's the rear. It looks like it's really the rear ends. It's just the rear
I
ends
guess
of
it was
these,
Leclerc,
of
wasn't
these
it?
cars.
Beautiful move. He's obviously now after the other McLaren of C. Burton now. Yeah, so David Bowler has now rejoined, hopefully. I mean, what he's probably done is he's probably restarted his game now, and he's probably going to allow it to work, which is, you know, typical of the game. We had that in the previous game as well. If you got kicked, you had to... Never mind.
Oh, no, you just had the commentators curse them, didn't you?
Yeah, never mind.
You just had
just
to
Pera and Pingman.
Pera and Pingman?
Very close into turn 3 just then.
Well, I can definitely see them. I'm actually battling out pretty soon. I'm actually going to do a little bit of research, actually. Just give me a quick second.
We got yellow flag, and that was for Sam Flea actually coming through turn 8.
Alright, well, I'm actually looking at this, actually. Just Para is actually going quicker than Pigman Man, and I think it's mainly because of the DRS zones.
Yeah.
But Just Para last lap did a 108.4, where Pigman Man did a 109.0, so gaining around 6/10 on the previous lap. So I think this could be his striking point. I think this could be the lap where we could be seeing a new leader.
Oh, we've got yellow flags and Sam Flea out of the session. Straight on at turn 3 actually.
Yeah, and it looks like Ghosty Riot's being involved in that as well, as he was going off the track as well. So I'm not too sure exactly what happened there, but it looks like Just Para is right on the tail end of Pigman Man. And Paige, yep, I know. I to be honest with you, yeah, she says it best right there. I can't say anything about commentators curse.
And if you read further up the chat as well, there's just a few comments regarding Ghosty as well. So we're wondering whether there's, I mean, yeah. I'll let you make of what you will of those comments, to be honest with you. Jonesy and Fast are changing positions, and Jonesy just going backwards now. Brand new set of hards there against the 15-lap old hards. So yeah, if we read the comment from Owen in particular, so I'm wondering whether there's been a history previously, and yeah, let's see. Foxy rounding outside of Anza. Anza comfortably staying ahead there through 7 and 8 though.
Yeah, beautiful overtake there down towards turn 4, and that's just the strongest point of the track. It's just those DRS zones. If you can utilize the DRS zone and save on ERS, that is the way that you can win this race. As Qatarman Khan and Jonesy are actually about to go side to side down towards turn 1.
It's getting a bit crazy. And we've got Gilfie as well. Oh god, there's two. Look at the Williams go of Anza, I think that is. Yeah, of Anza. Yeah, he's definitely.
And Folksy getting it back as well in the exit.
Yeah,
back up to P9.
There's more moves that I could look at, that I can watch in one go now. So we've got Gelfie and Folksy. We've got then we've got Guitar Man, Jonesy, very close together. Then we've got Just Para and Pingmen Man. Oh, that's a mouthful.
Oh,
Try
pig.
saying that when you're drunk.
Pig.
Oh
It's
yeah, pig. Try saying that when you're drunk. Jesus, it's not going to happen very well, is it?
For me, I can barely say it sober. I
I was about to
stutter
say
so
I'm just
much,
about saying it sober.
Oh, and Pigman gets himself a time penalty
Yeah,
going really wide on the exit of turn 9 there.
Come the end of this race as well now. So, PRL Artistic saying Sam Flea crashing out, yeah. And he goes, look at that Williams go. Absolutely, the Williams are flying. And Guitarman Khan round at the penultimate corner. So, and off the track. And that has just cost him quite a lot of time, positions, and effort. But here comes just Perra as well. Look at this. Coming out of turn 3 down. The DRS will assist him past Pigman, I reckon. He's a little bit too far back now, though.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that Pigman actually has against Para. The exiting speed, he's just on point when it comes to. You could probably compare him to the AI exiting speed boost that they get in career mode, and Guitarman Khan's still spinning out. And same goes with Ghosty Riots around turn 7. So surprisingly, this is the first time we've seen someone spin around turn 7 in the race, where we actually saw about 2 drivers specifically spin around like 10 times around turn 7. So I think that actually, you know what? I'm actually going to say this right now, Zippo. When it comes to the race, especially with this game, you don't have to be quick, in my opinion.
No, you just have to be consistent.
Ghosty Riots.
Consistent.
Exactly.
There's a safety car. Yeah, you don't have to be fast. You just have to be consistent. Consistency will get you points in this game, especially in this early stages of this game. 100%.
Oh, hands down. Hands down. But one thing I am actually noticing, it's whoever makes the least mistakes actually comes out on top, like you said. And it looks like Anza actually hit with a 5-second time penalty for a collision with Gylfi into the pit lane. But now let's actually see what the drivers decide to end this race off. And it looks like Folksy going on an old set of mediums. Well, only one lap, because of course he had to pit on the first lap on those set of mediums. We also have Chappers and Anza opting for the set of softs, and it looks like Gylfi as well going with an old set of mediums for the safety car restart. 18 lap old set of mediums. I think that is not the right call here for the Red Bull driver, and I don't think those mediums are going to be lasting until the end. We're going to have to see
I
if they have
definitely
anything else.
I think that's a huge strategy mistake here. So here comes Pigman, just pair it into the. Then you've got Siebert and Leclerc. Everybody coming into the pits now.
Well, one thing I am going to be seeing, of course, these drivers have to respect the delta as well. Oh, and Art is saying in the chat, so why am I consistently slow? Come on now, Sardis. Give yourself a little bit more credit. You're not consistently slow. If anyone's consistently crap, it's me. You are just consistently amazing, okay? You go in, come out a champion, even if you don't win, Artist. Oh, sorry, artistic, sorry. I said artist. Well, you are an artist on the track, to be honest with you, artistic. And in the comms box as well. And look at that, Anza trying to overtake Gylfi into the pit lane. Wait, Anza switching from the set of softs. Gylfi going to be switching to the set of softs. Anza is going to go into the pit lane and switch to another... Oh, right, respectively. Has to serve the 5-second time penalty. And... I don't know, is that the right call? Do you think, Zippo?
Who's that, sorry?
Anza re-entering the pit lane for yet another set of softs, but just to serve the 5-second time penalty, as Guitarman Khan is now making his way past, and same goes with his teammate of Paddy Pat.
It's an interesting call. It is a very interesting call. I mean, what's it done? Where was he prior to that pit stop?
Probably, I think it was like around 8th or something like that.
So he was 8th, so he's lost, what, 6 positions by doing that. And he's got 6 laps to go, 5-second penalty. I mean, it depends. It was on 1 lap old softs before boxing. So yeah, I think that's a bit of a Ferrari strategy there, to be honest.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit different. But if you guys are just tuning in, we've actually seen quite a bit of action here on the track. Overtakes, switchbacks, strategy calls. but also, as always, close reel-to-reel racing, and sometimes they do collide, as we actually did see back in 2016 with Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton actually colliding, where there was actually more lap controversy with Nico Rosberg was leading as the final lap began, with teammate Lewis Hamilton right on his tail on the run between turns 1 and 2. Hamilton visibly gained on the leading Mercedes and made a move around the outside into the second corner, where Rosberg's attempt to run his teammate wide resulted in contact and damaged his front wing, where Hamilton was into the lead ahead of Rosberg's wounded car, and then the Brit eventually winning. But one thing as well that we're going to be seeing, especially with the safety car coming in, is going to be a close finish, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a seriously close finish, as the short track length here at Red Bull often leads to a tight qualifying session, where 6 out of the 10 pole positions at the track have been decided by less than 1/10 of a second. And we actually did see that with Just Coconuts as he got pole position. But yeah, just a lot of stuff has happened at this track over the years.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've been looking at in the Discord general chat or not. But what you said earlier on regarding Sam Flea's retirement,
yeah,
very possible.
Oh, really?
But apparently it could be the opposite way round here. So yeah, just having a look at just having a little look in the chat just whilst we were under the safety car, and it does seem that it's getting a little bit heated. And one thing may or may not have happened. About as good as I am a sim racer, it's process. You're an incredible broadcaster, Justin, and love hearing you too, Zippo. Oh, thanks, Artistic. I appreciate that, man.
Honestly, and ladies and gentlemen, to be honest with you, even though I've been here for quite a while, we have to give it up to Zippo, in my opinion. Like, this man has come into the light as we needed him when we were in our darkest. Because the main people that did the graphics as we're with ESTV was Patty Pat, to be honest with you. And honestly, Zippo, you coming out of the blue, well, not coming out of the blue, but you know what I mean. Like, it definitely, I didn't realize we were getting a new commentator, but
I didn't realize they were going to ask me to do it.
And honestly, I was so glad that they did, because honestly, mate, you have been amazing day in and day out, always reaching out about different graphics, different stuff like that. You were reaching out just a few minutes ago about the instant replays if people knew how to do it on OBS. And that's the one thing I love about you. That's one thing I love about you. You like to improve, and you like to interact with the people in chat. You check the Discord. You do all of this type of stuff to get your name out there, as well as get
I try to.
a little bit of a closer relationship with the people back at home.
Yeah, definitely,
and that's what we love, actually. So honestly, guys, of course, I believe I do pretty well. But honestly, big round of applause to Zippo for coming in with the graphics as well. Makes it visually pleasing for you guys back at home. But now it looks like we're gonna be lights out once again.
Oh, and there's already a mess at the back, already a huge mess at the back, and that is Chapper's getting, well, just absolutely nowhere off the start there. Jonesy getting nowhere, and we've got Anza, Guitar Man Khan, and Patty Pat all over the curb there into turn 1 with the ghost of David, and then Jonesy getting through there as well. But up the front then we've got Farsa on Burton.
Yeah, so Farsa trying to eye down the McLaren as they make their way through up the hill, to be honest with you, but it doesn't look like anything is going to be happening as of yet. Honestly, Zippo, you deserve that and more, my friend. Honestly, we love you here in Prospects. We really do.
I'm enjoying it. Really, I'm enjoying it.
And we hope you stay us for seasons to come. But I'm actually looking at this right now. Burton is actually eyeing down Power.
He's flying.
So the top 3 separated by less than a second right now. Par with an amazing exit. He's looking around the outside, squeezed onto the grass by Pigman Man for a quick second there, as they still go side to side. Oh, let's see. And looks like Pigman Man still holds on to it. See Burn now, look at him. He's looking on the inside. It's going to be a double overtake. He's looking on the inside of Pigman Man. And now towards turn 1.
Because he's clipped the curb. And that's put Farsa through. Passes through, Burton down to 4th, and then here comes Leclerc as well now on the back of Burton. Can I just say the top 5 were all separated by less than a second? Top 5, less than a second going into that set of corners there. And Just Pera losing out massively now. And I thought that was yellow flags for a minute, but it's not. But look, it's Just Pera and Leclerc were wheel to wheel just then. And there was not a thousandth between them. It was literally neck and neck.
Well, we just saw some amazing stuff. That was way too close, in my opinion. They honestly, you could barely fit a hair strand between these cars right now. They are so close. Like we said before, wheel to wheel action. That is what we promise here in Prospect eRacing League, and we'd love to give that to you guys as well. So not only a big round of applause to the people out there watching the stream back at home, currently with 29 people, but also to the drivers as well.
As well. Sorry to interrupt you. Patty Mac down the pit straight on Guitar Man Khan into P10, done before turn 1, and yeah, he's now going to push on after Anza, who was off the track at turn 9 and 10 a minute ago. Jonesy's round.
Up towards turn 4. Yeah, Jonesy had himself a little bit of a spin, but it looks like Pigman Man will now be having the DRS. This is how this game is going to end right now. It's going to be a strategy call. These drivers are playing chess in a Formula 1 car right now. Oh, good call there for Farza to stay around the outside. If not, it would have been a little bit of contact. It was so close there. This top 5, man. Gotta love to see that. Honestly, you gotta love to see that.
It's getting a little bit mental, isn't it? I mean, Jonesy was included in that as well, so it was a top 6 at one stage, and now it's top 5. But Just Pera on Pigmen, sorry, looking into turn 9 and then 10, gets, I would say, a better exit, but didn't hit the apex. But he does get a great exit. And we've got Timber round. Oh, there was a massive lag spike just then.
Yeah, I just experienced that on your end, actually. Ooh. But it looks like Leclerc now, he's looking right on the tail end of Power. The top 5, except for, of course, for the leader, all with DRS now. Leclerc is looking on the inside, on the uphill. Alfa Romeo on the outside, AlphaTauri on the inside. The battle of the Alphas, and it's going to be Leclerc making their way up into P3.
And
but
Jonesy's
one thing, ladies and gentlemen, and Jonesy's out of this race. So now we're down to 13 drivers, and ladies and gentlemen, as we now are on the 4th last lap of this race, I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Who would you give driver of the day? I want to hear from you guys back at home.
Leclerc is definitely battling hard. Yeah, you're right, Artistic.
Oh, contact! Major contact! In P2, P3, and P4. C. Burton making the way through. It was just Para, Leclerc, as well as C. Burton there. Gilfie has now had an amazing resurgence now because of that. But also, you gotta say, this is actually a huge news for Pigman Man. He is now 3 seconds ahead of Just Para, who currently has no front wing and could be winning this race after safety car has been applied. And it looks like Leclerc and C. Burton still going side to side here on the uphill, both with DRS. They're trying to find their way around Just Para, and it looks like it's going to be Leclerc on the inside once again. But Just Para still with no front wing, able to defend like a true champion that he is in that Alfa Romeo. False as well, having himself a spin on the exit. It's gonna be chaos at the end of this race here, Zippo.
It is,
and I
but
just
the thing
can't
is
get my eyes off of this screen.
The thing is as well is Just Pera. So he doesn't have a front wing, but we all know, everybody at home will know that that means absolutely nothing at the moment because it does not affect downforce whatsoever. And apparently it's being investigated. It's been investigated since the game came out and they still haven't fixed it. I mean, how difficult can it be to fix front wing? I mean, it worked in the previous game.
Yeah, but I think it's mainly because when it comes to the new car,
all of the
downforce is mainly in the undertray.
Yeah, the undertray, yeah.
It's mainly in the undertray. So, of course, they do lose a little bit of time, but not too,
here comes Leclerc now.
Not severely significant.
Yeah, here comes Leclerc. He's gone up into P2. So we're now looking at an AlphaTauri 1-2 at the moment. Just Pera is Artistic's driver of the day. It was Leclerc until that incident. And I am also hearing news that Sam Flea has been removed from the league.
Wow, really? Because was it like a major contact between him and Ghosty Riots?
Yes.
Wow. Can we actually, if one of the stewards is watching that, potentially after this race, I would love to see the footage of that to see exactly what happened there. But it looks like C Burton now with a 3
It's in the
seconds.
Discord,
So,
I believe.
alright, I'm gonna have to check it out. But ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen, we're gonna go on board with Pigment Man real quick, actually, as this is
He
gonna be
comes
the
around to
white
start his
flag.
final, yeah.
Yep, the white flag is being waved here, ladies and gentlemen. Lap 36 of 36 is the final lap here of Austria for Season 7, Round 1 of the Austrian Grand Prix. And honestly, it's been mixed a little bit. Of course, with the game not really helping out with its servers. But when it comes down to the actual drivers, we've only had one person that's really had a major downfall when it comes to making incidents, and he's already been removed from the league. So far, oh, and look at that, Gilfie and Guitar and Anza having huge contact there.
Yeah.
Seaburn with a seriously wobbly exit around turn 3 here as they take the sprint down. Leclerc now within 3 seconds of his teammate here, but it looks like Para could be coming in second place. So it could be a double podium here for the AlphaTauri team as we're now coming into the final sector.
On board with Pigmen now as he comes through turn 8 into 9 and 10. He's had a pretty decent race, hasn't he? I mean, you can't help but think that had the game have gone in other drivers' favours, it could have been a completely different story. But at the end of the day, as he crosses the line to take the win, you've got to be there in it to win it, right? You have to be in it to win it, and you have to be in that position to pick up on other drivers' misfortunes and mistakes.
Exactly, but ladies and gentlemen, that is going to end the beginning of Season 7. Big lucky number 7 here, ladies and gentlemen, of Prospect eRacing League. It is an AlphaTauri 1-3, one of the best ways to kick off the season. Just Para makes himself into the second place position after time penalties have been applied. But ladies and gentlemen, Pigment Man is your winner here today with Just Para as well as Leclerc. An amazing race all around, and I gotta say, for me personally, my commentator's driver of today, I think the game shows it right there. Just Para had an amazing start off of the grid, pushed his way up into second place, kept a clean race, no time penalties. Got unfortunate with the incident with Leclerc, but absolutely amazing race from the Alfa Romeo, in my opinion.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, he was always there or thereabouts, wasn't he? And obviously the battle early on kind of let it all unfold. Chapper's saying in the Discord there that the stupid safety car restart really screwed him over, and that's what I said as well. He literally just didn't get going on that safety car restart, and he just got gobbled up by about 6 cars.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate there. It's just unfortunate, but to be honest with you, when it comes to racing, when it comes to the season, it is not how you start, it's how you finish, and we have a long way to go, ladies and gentlemen. But Zippo, I'm gonna let you do the rundown of the events here today.
So there we go, thanks very much. There we go, Pigmen in the top step there, in pole position, the prime P1 position there. Just Para and Leclerc finishing off your podium this evening. And then you've got Gilfie in P4, Foxy P5, Chappers up there into P6 after a poor last restart, as he says there. And then you've got Guitar Man Khan in P7 with C. Burton, the only of the last of the McLaren runners tonight there in P8. And you've got Farsa, Patty Pat, and I didn't see the rest of them, unfortunately.
David Boyer and Timba, as well as Jonesy, finishing off the points finishes, of course. Well, not points finishes, but the
finishes.
Let's say the legal finishes, of course.
But yeah, I mean, overall, a very, very good race. And you know, thanks everybody at home for sticking in, staying with us, watching it all the way from start to finish. I appreciate every one of you.
Exactly, and ladies and gentlemen, that's not going to be it, of course. We still have Tier 3 to do tomorrow. So again, if you guys want to stay tuned for that, please hit the follow button, hit that notification bell so you're notified when we go live. Would be around the same time, around 5 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. BST, so Q into that as well. But until next time, Zippo, thank you again so much. Masterclass of commentary from you, my man. Always a pleasure. And same with the guys back at home. And of course, as Chaos Druid says as well. And Tier 4 on Thursday, which I will be commentating with one of the racers here today of Chappers.
And don't forget the Academy at 8 o'clock on Thursday evening, UK time, with myself. And then that'll be quickly followed on by Tier 4 straight after.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want to hear that beautiful voice once again, make your way onto Thursday. Because honestly, who cannot love that voice? Like, come on now. Yeah. Extraordinary.
I'm sure people think differently. But seriously, thanks very much, guys. We do appreciate everything that's all the kind words that get said to both myself and Justin and all the commentators here. You know, we do really appreciate it. It's what drives us and keeps us wanting to do it.
Exactly. But again, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys and gals have an amazing evening. Thank you guys so much for queuing in. But until next time, he's Zippo, I'm Justin. Lots of love and stay safe, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Good night, guys. Thanks for watching.